Okay, I haven't given you guys a Blitz battle in a while, and we got a weird request for a four-way battle that we're going to do today from the boy Knull, and it is Darkseid, specifically from his recent showings, versus Knull from Marvel Comics, versus Godspawn from the Spawn comics, and finally Vampire Hunter D from the Vampire Hunter series. If you are a fan of battles, comic books, manga, scaling, all that, make sure to grab your mocha, grab your latte, cappuccinos, whatever the hell you're drinking, settle on in. It's the coffee shop, and it's your host, Jobbers and Goons. I will be doing this Blitz battle today for you, and I'm excited. If you don't know what that is, it's where I give a brief explanation on every character involved in the battle, and then I will tell you quickly who I think will win if they match up. Real quick, make sure also to check out my Discord server, my Twitch, which will be in the link, as well as go ahead and check out my main channel, Jobbers and Goons. But anyways, this battle, first we're going to talk about Vampire Hunter D, being the only manga character here. Now, Vampire Hunter D is a character who mainly gets his power from being beyond the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records essentially contain all stories, narrations, concepts, ideas. All these things, archetypes, are contained within the Akashic Records. However, Vampire Hunter D, due to his unusual nature, which is half Dhampir, half vampire, he is outside of the Akashic Records and would go on to eventually absorb them, manipulate them, and have power over them, as it cannot affect him. Now, this obviously allows him to attack on a conceptual level, archetypal level, narrative level. All these hacks and abilities will be welcome to Vampire Hunter D, and as a result gives him the outer to mid-outer, even high outer arguments, depending on how you view Akashic Records. On the other side, we have Spawn. Spawn is a character Al Simmons eventually becomes one with a symbiotic type hellish weapon, which allows him to become a Hellspawn. Doing so, he serves the purpose of hell, battling insane creatures, as eventually God and Satan will face. But essentially, Spawn achieves such transcendences of powers that eventually, basically, he meets the mother of the verse. She helps him understand his godlike nature, scales massively above beings that can control concepts such as meta beings on one of the lower levels of hell, with meta beings being the almost platonic in nature, representing the true pinnacle form of something. So there's multiple layers of outer versal, and then eventually you get to characters like Spawn at this point, who was powerful enough in his reality warping and abilities that he could even hack God and Satan and make them battle in a different universe altogether. Now, on the other side, we have Knull. Knull is an avatar of Oblivion, Oblivion being the symbolism and archetypal being of nothingness and the end of nothing in Marvel Comics. Now, Knull also is most famous for weaponizing the symbiotes, so characters like Venom, their symbiotes at one point came from Knull. Knull, just forming the all-black Necro Sword, was able to casually kill a Celestial, the builders of the multiverse, when the first light or dawn of creation struck the darkness. He fought back. Eventually, he was forced out. Does have a weakness to holy attacks and lightning attacks and light-based attacks and stuff, but as a general powerhouse, Knull is one of the strongest characters in Marvel Comics and one of the more recent bad guys. And then finally, we have Darkseid, Infinite Frontier, Darkseid, whatever you want to say. True form Darkseid is a being of such pure evil, such pure hate, such pure dominance that on an archetypal conceptual level, he is far beyond descriptions such as villain or bad guy. He is simply more. He is. The craziest thing is all the feats you consider for Darkseid, including absorbing heavens, hells, different abstract planes of existences, threatening the multiverse. Just a baby Darkseid could threaten the multiverse by falling. All these things are null and void when compared to true Darkseid, which is shown in Infinite Frontier, which is said to be beyond any of the Darkseids portrayed before or shown before, giving him easily high outer scaling, just going off the DC cosmology, and thus where Darkseid would place with the new scaling. Now, if these characters were to clash, who do I think wins in this Blitz battle? I guess we'll go by who I think drops first. I think the most obvious weakness here would probably be Knull, with Spawn being second, as Spawn can be affected by holy weapons, but then again he transcends in power, so you could argue you have to have a really high tier holy weapon to affect him. I think Knull and Spawn probably have the most obvious weaknesses, with Darkseid and Vampire Hunter D kind of just wiling out. So the first one to get dropped is either of them. I'd probably say Knull at his highest ends with arguments probably has more of an argument for scaling in terms of comparing to God Spawn. However, it's real close, and I do think both of them lose anyway, so it doesn't matter which one gets eliminated next. Narrative hacks, reality, Akashic Records hacks based Vampire Hunter D squaring off with Darkseid. Unfortunately, I don't think D has enough scaling and enough layers to compare to a Darkseid who is massively beyond anything he's shown before, which when he already had like high outer arguments. So in the end, in this fatal 4-way battle, I gotta favor Infinite Frontier Darkseid. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a Blitz battle, my first 4-way Blitz battle. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure to run the likes up. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been your boy, your host, Jobbers and Goons. This is The Coffee Shop, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.